Hello, welcome back to the Pedal Progressions Podcast, where progression is the obsession. I am sitting here in the lovely Vi 13 studios. My good friend Kellen Johnson, and I'm Brian Zajac, and I'm going to do Craig last today because...
And I'm tardy.
One, he's tardy, but also, this is probably the last time I'll have Craig in studio for a while.
Yeah.
Probably a long while.
It's going to be a whole lot ahead of me with a move and a work thing. So for the next month and a half, I'm going to be MIA. But I think we've got some sweet substitutes coming in.
So we like having you. I just wanted to get that out there quick instead of waiting to the end like the Kyle one. We are powered with some fancy grilling company meat sticks right here. I stopped in, saw Keith today. He hooked us up. He hooked Courtney up with some dinner, too. Very appreciated. Also, Good Medicine Coffee. The best artesian coffee that can be sent to your door. Check it out, goodmedicinecoffee.com. Hopefully Ryan joins us and talks to us online during this. Also, check out KOM Cycling for all of your accessory needs. For indoor bikes, outdoor bikes, road bikes, gravel bikes, all bikes. PPP15 at komcycling.com. Golf 616. People are still talking about the golf outing and how great it was. And they were sad they missed it because they heard it was fun. So I'm going to talk to John, and we are going to try to do another one probably in the fall or maybe the summer while he's slower. Because what we don't pay for the lanes, we sure make up for in alcohol sales. So that's good. Also, 8th Day Gym. I know it's getting nice outside. It's super fun to work out downtown with the garage doors open, all sweaty with your muscles gleaming in the sun. You can carry around kettlebells and look cool downtown by the amphitheater.
You could probably even time a workout for a live concert.
Yeah. You can work out in the world-class High Rocks room and with world-class athletes. Come check it out 1 week free, 8thdaygym.com. And then our most important sponsor, the Building Blocks Foundation. The Bridge the Gap Scholarship Program is just rolling out right now. We had a board meeting yesterday and talked about giving a bunch of students that need care, that can't afford care, a scholarship so they can get the care they need over the summer and help bridge the gap. Also, our biggest fundraiser of the year is August 21st. I'll let Craig go through that, but our golf outing will be there. And then just throw this in there for my last one, Blackwater Bike Shop in Lynchburg, Virginia. The best bike shop in the whole state of Virginia.
That's a new one. I sense there's a story behind that.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll touch on it at some point. A few events here, or I guess notifications. First of all, our local BMX track annual passes are on sale. It's $100, so you kind of don't have an excuse not to. That place will humble you. It will teach you a lot about pumping.
They rebuilt the whole track last weekend.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow.
Everything but the first straight got completely redone, and the first straight got touched up.
That's incredible. There's a ton of clay over there. If you have a dirt jumper, I think a $5 BMX rental is included with that $100 pass as well.
Something like that.
I may have seen a Facebook post, or I'm making it up because I got here late and now I'm scrambling. So, $100, Rock City, support our local BMX track.
Jake Havner, the guy that runs it, daughter Emma, super, super cool and fast. She will be on the Olympic team one day.
Oh, my.
But they reached out and they want to put a 6-pack of big jumps like the rail yard in Bentonville. So big wood lip takeoffs with big landings, sessionable off of the back of the first berm. So this summer, we're going to try to get that done before the Winalda thing that you'll talk about probably next.
That's awesome. I think Facebook is the best way to find your way to Rock City BMX and ultimately your way to that $100 pass. Next up, July 25th, WIMBA is hosting a really, really exciting event. So it is we'll call it a Lower Peninsula of Michigan Enduro event, which involves some downhill sections and potentially a little bit of uphill as well. I've got a little sneak preview on the course, and there is a very painful section, but it's going to be fun ultimately. So this will be held at Merrill on Winalda predominantly, with a little bonus area added in as well. You're going to want to keep an eye on WIMBA's Instagram page for more details on that. But once again, that's July 25th.
And Mitch Bray of Am I Bike Please, also the head ninja guy, is timing the event. Same guy that did the bootleg for us.
So you can't complain once you get your time. It's super legitimate. August 21st, as Brian mentioned, the Building Blocks Foundation golf outing at Boulder Creek. So you can find a link through our Instagram page for more information on that, or on the Building Blocks Foundation website. Do they have a Facebook page?
Yeah, I think so.
All
There's an
right.
Instagram page, but I can't tag them in anything because they're a nonprofit.
No tags allowed. Finally, we've got August 22nd, the DTE Downcountry Enduro, a similar format to what we just talked about, actually the original format for kind of this lower peninsula of Michigan. Ultimate trail bike, aggressive XC bike enduro event. That's happening on August 22nd. Cool. Kellen, do we have social media still?
We do. You can find us on Instagram at pedal_progressions_podcast. You can find the link in the description where you can find our merch store. Anything you buy off our merch store goes right back on the podcast, makes it better. Love seeing all that cooling on you. So support us that way. Love seeing it. You can also email the show at pedalprogressions@gmail.com. Send us suggestions of future guests. Give us any type of feedback you want there. We love hearing from you. Love seeing it. So that's a good place to get a hold of us, too. Remember to like and subscribe, rate, give us all the stars, a thumbs up. It helps us a bunch. Appreciate that. So after the quick break, we'll be back with our guest today, which is Kelly Hazlegrove. I think it's Hazlegrove. That's going to be my first question for her.
Grove.
Oh, Grove. All right. Hazlegrove. Back in a second with her. I forget what it is. I took a guess. It was the wrong one. Hazel Grove. Got it. Okay.
Great.
Your hair's looking awesome as always.
Oh, thank you. Right back at you.
It's not. I get a haircut tomorrow. It's pretty terrible. I'm looking homeless over here. So Kelly, this was kind of a long time in the making.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know because I didn't ask you. I waited till we were better at what we did before I asked you to do it. You're a high tier guest to me, so no pressure.
We still had to plan this way out, though. Life's been
If this
crazy.
was a couple years ago, would this be an upstairs guest?
This would be an upstairs guest.
Okay. Low tier, actually record in the basement. High tier, we actually record upstairs.
On the couch
Yeah.
with Courtney.
Classy.
My first time on, they put me in the basement, so if that says anything.
And second time.
Still trying to get that upper stairs interview.
But we've been hyping you the last few episodes. I always come in with the best coach I know in mountain biking. So that's I'm a big proponent for people like taking clinics and taking lessons, and not just because I give them, because my cost for a lesson is usually like a tall Michelob Ultra.
Yeah.
But I think that the reason I had to make you an upstairs guest was because I really do think you're the best coach that I know. So
Thank you. I'm flattered.
so how'd you get into biking in the first place? I don't even know.
Dude, so I was a rock climber, and then I started dating my husband, and he owns a bike shop. I was like 27, but my sister was already into like doing solo 24-hour races. So I was like feeling it, a little bit, but I was really into rock climbing. And then I started dating Davey, and like we didn't have a climbing gym or anything. So it's not like I could go all the time. And so I was like, yeah, I'll give this mountain biking thing a try. And then like I sucked really bad. And then I invested in like a lighter hardtail, a stump jumper hardtail. And then I just remember one day I noticed that I was loading the bike on the car again. And I was like, oh, I think this means I like this. Like, I've been loading this on the car like every day and going to the park and like meeting up with my new girlfriends that I met and stuff. So that's how I got into it. And then just being like, that was, let's see, I was 27. So that was like 22 years ago, right? There weren't that many women riding. And so I was riding with dudes. And I just remember like one of my first rides, there was a tree down. And in my memory, it was like this tall, right? And all the dudes started riding over it. And I was like, what is that? You can do that? That's crazy. And I kind of vowed like internally that I would not suck forever and then I would learn to do badass things like that. Yeah. And so that's how I got into like just mountain biking. And then with my husband owning a bike shop, we just are embedded in the community. And eventually like I became embedded with a mountain bike club and got involved in that. And then I actually paid to take a clinic and I was like, we went out to Fruta, me and some friends, and realized like, oh, there's a method to this. Say what? And I just was instantly like hooked. And I was like, I want to learn how to do that. And I want to take this home and like lead free clinics for my bike club and just help people to not have to make the mistakes that I made and learn the long way. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, let's take the shortcut and learn it quickly.
Do you think you kind of like took after your sister and went after the endurance aspect, or you mentioned like trying to get over a log, like the skills aspect? Was there a certain thing that like drew you in or that you really, really liked or wanted to teach other people to do?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did both right away. I got into just doing more and more miles and we were doing long rides, but also I think just coming from like a rock climbing background, you know, I was interested in doing things in a more aesthetic way, you know, like when you see a dude show up at the gym that's just strong and he can get to the top, but it looks like garbage because he's just muscling up. And I'm like, that doesn't even count. And it's kind of like that aesthetic for mountain biking to me. I'm like, I want to do it smooth and I want to do it right. And I just want to learn how to do these things. And I was just immediately interested in upping my skill game and playing on the bike. I think I'm a goofy, playful person, maybe, I don't know. But that's what made me, I think, be drawn to it right there.
So there's a wrong way to climb a rock.
I was just going to say, I didn't know there was style in climbing a rock.
Oh my God.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get to the top, you're the top, right?
No, there's style involved.
I guess making something look effortless kind of crosses sports, right? Because always, I think you guys would agree, and you, the best looking mountain bike riders are often the guys that make it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Exactly.
Yeah. So is that also true in rock climbing?
I'd say, yeah, like you want to do things efficiently. Otherwise you're wasting energy and you probably won't make it. So I'm not saying we're all about looks in rock climbing, but it's just something that I kind of felt like you want to do things and use as little energy as possible and be smooth. Cause you know, that whole smooth is fast kind of situation. It's so true, right? People that are just dancing.
The wrong way to climb a rock. First thing came to mind was like the chalk powder, like doing the LeBron, like just throwing it in the air and you know, just walking to the gym like that. Like, oh, look at this jerk.
Such bad form. Faux pas.
Kellen, she might be the only person I know that screws around more in a parking lot on a bike than you.
That's a challenge.
Can we hang out, please? Because I feel like I'm the only one that wants to play in a parking lot for that
guys
long.
all sit and talk, and I'm out just riding wheelies or manuals, and
we drink beers.
well, I can do that anywhere, not in a parking lot.
Parking lot's wheelie time. Beer time's later, okay?
So I always do a little research before a guest comes on. And I'm like, oh, you're a coach. And I start scrolling through. I'm like, oh, she teaches me the manual. She's good.
And knows manual.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm like, yep. I like her.
Right? So I just learned how to really manual at age 46. So a few years ago. And I'm like so proud of that. Because I could kind of manual, you know, like just few bike lengths. But now I can go like down the street. And so like my mission is to like impart that on other people and teach other ladies and gents how to do that, because it's the most satisfying thing in the world. And that you can do it at a pretty older age.
I just gave someone a tip on this. I'll see if you agree, since you're the pro here. I always tell people, don't pull back, push the bike forward. And push your feet forward and put the axle underneath you, as opposed to pulling back on the handlebars.
Yeah, I'm like, sweep the bike out from under you. Yeah, I have a lot of tips for that because I learned the hard way again. But I do like that.
How many hours do you think somebody has to commit to really get that like effortless manual, or that long? Okay, it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah.
It's little bites all the time, and get help. Don't just sit there and throw yourself at it like I did forever.
I can attest that it's a skill you can lose too. Like if you don't do it often enough, you lose it.
Yeah, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I can. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I can manual over almost anything if I put my mind to it. If I just stare at it, like I can do multiple rollers and stuff at like on a pump track and stuff. But the second you ask me to go down the road, all of a sudden I'm all over the place. Unless I'm going like 40, and then for whatever reason I can pick it up and I feel okay.
I need you to teach me how to get through multiple rollers, because we don't have great rollers here, and I'm like, I want to learn that, but I can get down the road. But like, so my son, I have a son, he's 11, but when he was in elementary school, like earlier, the school's around the corner, and so I was riding bikes to take him to school and back, and that's how I finally learned, because I would just do like wheelies and manuals on the way there and the way back, and so it's just like 5 minutes a day. And man, that like really added up.
Do you find that the better you get at one of those skills, the worse the other one kind of gets?
I feel like they build on each other, and the better you are at like wheelies, the better your manuals get.
Oh, see, for me, it's I used to be so good at wheelies, and the better I got at manualing, the worse my wheelies got. And then when I started getting good at wheelies again, my manuals went to hell.
I'm kind of the opposite of all that. Like I think wheelies and manuals, they look very similar, but they're two very different skills. Like one doesn't go worse as I get better at the other, but you would think if you could wheelie, you could manual. Like, oh, it just easily transfers over. It does not. It is a completely different skill.
I think that getting like like at first when you wheelie, you're wheeling like this and you're working really hard. And as you get more comfortable, it's like every couple months you find yourself getting farther back in the balance zone. I feel like that kind of helps with the manual too, just a little bit, just getting comfortable, learning that it takes a lot to go over backwards, I guess. Yeah. Like at first you think you're going to go over backwards when you're here, but you realize it's really like there.
For anyone listening, I'm kind of thinking about my wife that doesn't know what a manual is. A wheelie is like doing, picking the front wheel and pedaling. A manual is doing the exact same thing. You're just not pedaling. It's just straight balance. You're not pedaling to keep you going. And look very similar, but they are two very different skills.
Could you do it on a BMX bike without a brake?
No, God. Can you?
I try and I loop out every time.
Oh God, no.
It's like I have to go so slow that I couldn't balance even if I wanted to, but I know I'm going to loop out instantly.
Terrible. I've only looped out hard like one time, and I will never let that happen again. It was so painful.
Are you better at it on a trail bike or a dirt jumper?
Honestly, trail bike, because a dirt jumper, I'm so scared I'm going to loop out because it goes so fast that then I start underdoing it and I just get really frustrated.
Yeah,
but then my enduro bike, I can't manual at all because it's so long and I'm little. And then I feel like a total tool.
The more suspension, the easier it is for me to manual. Like I know that's different for a lot of people, but yeah, the more suspension, the easier it is for me to manual. I can manual my downhill bike better than anything else.
I feel you on that. I'm with you, because I feel like it slows down the movement because you have to compress and then load and explode. It gives you all this time to like settle in versus a dirt jumper. You're just like there immediately.
Yeah.
So when you're doing clinics and stuff, what's the number one skill that people like want to get? That's I wouldn't say unobtainable, but like the thing they're like, I'm going to learn how to do this time. And you're like,
they get
Probably not today.
they get humbled real quick.
That's
I
not a
would say-
one-day skill.
I mean, I usually try to work in a manual/bunny hop clinic, and I'm like, you're not going to get this today. But most people just want drops and jumps, and they want it now. They're not jerks, but they just don't understand that even like jumping is something that isn't going to click right away, you know? So I know that sounds basic, but usually it's jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes a long time.
Yeah, it's years to get comfortable in the air. Like you can get the technique down, but to get actually comfortable, it takes years. And
I'm with you on that. Like, I just remember, you know, over the years taking clinics like occasionally and being like, I think I'm jumping, I'm kind of catching backside, and then just having it absolutely click one day and be able to do that really up and then down like motion. And it was like, ah! Well, and then Brian, remember that you like, we were at Santos and you were like, you should like claw more and like, it'll make your jump bigger, and it does like tip you quicker, because it turned out I wasn't like lifting the back enough, and that was pretty life-changing for me too.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you.
So was that the biggest click moment for you in terms of jumping, or was there any other, like somebody out at the skills park told me, think of the face of the jump almost like a diving board. Like you have to put energy into the face of the jump to get a return out of it. And that was my like light bulb moment. I don't know. It probably, everyone is different in what they need to have while they're thinking about, hey, I need to interact with this jump. Like you shouldn't just be a passenger on a jump face. There's things you have to do, or at least be cognizant of. So I don't know if you have any specific light bulb moment that went off for you.
I would say, you know, it was like I did a women's clinic and they gave us like a little bit about jumping. And then I just stuck with that for years and was like, it's not working, because it wasn't quite enough. It wasn't in depth enough. And then just like, I just remember one time, I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Harlan Price with Take Aim Cycling. I went to one of his little jump clinics, and it like clicked for me that day. We just talked a little bit differently about like a longer press, I think, on the face of a jump. And it was just like, it was like I was boosting now. That's what did it. And then that was really helpful. And then Brian just being like, do this thing with your legs a little more, because I tend to be lazy with my legs. Like that was really awesome. So those two things is just the press and then the feet. My cats are fighting in the background right now. Excuse me. Hey. But I feel like people teach jumping so many ways that now, like, I feel like people are a little more cohesive now, and you won't get all this. It was like we were getting different information, and it was very confusing for a long time. And that was problematic.
I find coaching, the hardest for me is to put stuff into words. Like I know what I'm doing, but describing what you're doing to someone else in the words that make sense for them is the hardest thing. And I do a little bit of coaching too for like young kids. We got like they call it dirt dogs here. It's just for like really young kids.
Nice.
But I find my coaching style is just, I've stolen all good advice that other people have told me. Like pretty much none of it's mine. It's just, oh, I like the way you said that. It makes sense. I'm stealing that. So my coaching style is like 20 different coaches, and I'm just stealing all their stuff. I'm totally plagiarizing their coaching. But it just find the stuff that makes sense. Put that stuff in the words. I think that's the toughest part about being a good bike rider and being able to put that stuff in the words.
Yeah, and like, I don't know if y'all know, I'm an instructor trainer for the Bike Instructor Certification Program, the BICP. So I train other instructors and certify them how to be instructors. And so that process has absolutely like changed my coaching, because I have to know so much behind the scenes of why every little thing is happening. Like what I have to be able to see someone right then and be like, I see exactly what they're doing wrong, and like, how can I fix that? And so that process has helped all my bike skills greatly, because I can now self-diagnose. It's great.
I still am riding and I'm telling myself, like I get to like a steep downhill park, like a Windrock or even like Highland Bike Park in New Hampshire. And I'm like, stay forward in the berm, stay forward in the berm. Don't fall off the back of the bike. Keep the front wheel weighted. And like I'm telling, like especially as I'm getting tired, like later in the day, I'm like, get forward, stupid. Like you know this, just get forward.
Yep.
Do you guys have any mantras other than Brian's?
I do the same thing as Brian. I'm like, idiot, what are you doing? Just tough talking myself. Yeah,
I sing too.
yeah,
That helps me.
yeah. That I find that too. Like if you're starting to go fast, singing or like having a conversation in your head, get out of your own head. So it just becomes a natural instinct, and you're not overthinking stuff. Just focus on something else like a song or that's helped me a ton.
Yeah, I like to do that. I have those like shocks head things so I can still hear, but like listening to music, I know some people are really against that, but it really helps me. You're against it. I can still hear what's going on. It gets me out of my head. So helpful. Because I can't sing worth a damn. Like I can't be doing that to people.
Yeah, I like music. I ride with Brian all the time, and Brian is totally against it. But I just bought a pair of those Shocks headphones too. But I also used it's like I think Knox Gear makes it. It's a little magnetic speaker that real small. You can clip right to your shirt. Where only I can hear it, but Brian can't.
Mm-hmm.
So I've liked both those. Yeah, I don't like earpods that go in the ear you can't hear the surroundings or people behind you. I do agree with that part. Or the big boom box type thing, or Bluetooth speaker in like the water bottle that the whole trail can hear. And it's always the kids with the profanity rap songs too that do it.
How old are you?
Backpack speaker guy.
Yeah,
That's what
backpack speaker guy.
That's what we call him at the ski resort anyway.
I hate those people unless it's me.
Yeah.
It sucks when everyone else does it. When I do it, it's sweet.
Because you have the best taste in music.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it goes all the time.
For
Well,
me,
question: are you guys like? I ride with ladies a lot. I ride with both, and I'm a chatty Cathy when I'm with people. So I pause the music unless we're on like a downhill where you can't hear, because I'm yapping the whole time. How about you? Do you guys yap to each other? What's a dude ride like with you all?
I'm chatty.
Yeah.
I'm dying usually, and so Brian's behind me like, what do you think about that? And I'm like, I can't. I'm at 170, 180 BPM right now. Don't talk to me, please.
Me and Brian have pissed off many people having a casual conversation while people are dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I can, we're chatting usually about something bike related. But then when we get to the downhills, it's all gas usually.
Passive aggressive downhill riding behind people that are dicks. There's that.
Yeah, there's like reminding them that you're on their back wheel.
There's a couple cocky people that go to the local downhill park and they're really mean to other people. So eventually I don't like seeing them run people off the trail. We'll just get on their butt and just talk about how scenic the trail is going so slow. Like, oh, I've never ridden it this slow. I didn't know those roots were there. Like right behind them, like loudly. That's kind of fun to do.
I bet they never yield though, because they don't sound like the kind of people that would get out of the way.
Oh no, they make excuses at the bottom why something happened. Their chain broke, or I don't know. Even like, no, it didn't. I can see it. It's right there. Did it fix itself on the way down?
On that topic, this is a little off topic, but kind of on. But like, just how mountain biking has changed since I started riding. Like, downhill has always interested me, and I try to get fast at it like pretty quickly because it's so fun. And I remember like early on, it's like say not that I race, but I've done a lot of races like for fun. I don't really care about racing. Honestly, I'm sorry if that hurts anyone's feelings. Like if I'm behind a guy, I would be like, excuse me, do you mind if I get by? And they would never let me by. Or if they see you coming, they get in your way. And it has changed so much now. It is not like that anymore. Like men are like so respectful to women that I've noticed, at least to me. And they'll be like, "Oh, you're probably going to go faster than me. Why don't you go first?" Or they'll easily get out of the way, even though they hear that female voice. So I just want to give a shout out to dudes that are like progressing in that way. It's been really nice.
I used to ride a lot with my kids on the shotgun seat in the front.
Yeah.
And having little kids chirp you as like you're trying to pass someone, that is a good one. Just, hey, out the way, from like a 4-year-old's voice behind you. Like, hey, get out the way.
That's so fabulous.
Yeah. That's hurt some people's egos before.
We're probably not too far away from like little devices that you can mount on your stem that like talks shit to you as you go down. Like, oh, dude, you fucked that quarter up, Bird. Come on, you can go faster than that.
You guys with all your earbuds, you could just pre-record them.
That's my inner monologue.
Yeah.
That's what I sing and talk to myself, and then sometimes I'll say it out loud, but it's usually only if I'm riding with friends.
Every now and then after a ride, I'd shut my Garmin off, and at the end of the ride, it says your ride was unproductive. I'm like, screw you, Garmin! Like, shut it off, and I'm not gonna give you time to sync today.
Do you use Strava, Kelly?
Yeah.
Have you seen that website, Burn My Strava?
No, what does that do?
It's awesome. It looks at everything you've ever done and just makes fun of you for it.
Ooh,
It like
I need
even
to
looks at the picture and stuff. It's called roastmystrava.com. That's what it is.
Roast.
Roastmystrava.com. And mine, like, I have a picture of like me and the dog, and it's like, Pedal Progressions podcast. It should be walking the dog because you look like the poster boy of Rockford sitting with your dog.
Nice.
Maybe if you spent more time on your bike, you'd be faster. It's like a long thing. It's really funny. Like, it probably steals a bunch of data and stuff, but it's worth it. Like, of all the things that you could give your privacy to, that one's worth it.
It's worth all the spam calls.
It is. Every time I show anyone that, they're like, yeah. That's what we wanted to say to you, too.
Oh my God. Yeah. Are there any serious mountain bikers that don't talk smack to their friends? That's the question. I don't think I've met one.
Really, really fast people, maybe.
That's true. They're like serious about their fitness and their times. They don't stop and chat.
It's like, I always joked about how really hot girls were super nice, but like kind of hot girls were the meanest girls because they were trying to be really hot and they thought they needed to be mean. I think it's like that. Like, really fast people just know they're fast and don't have to talk about it. But those of us that are kind of fast need to rub it in our friends' faces all the time.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
I mean,
Never felt more mediocre in my life right now.
So, funny story for you. My girlfriend, Courtney, for those listening, new listeners, used to ride bikes a ton. She's just getting back into it. This weekend, we're going to Tennessee, going to a downhill park, first time in 2 years.
Sweet.
Big deal. She was really into the women's clinic thing, which, first of all, the women's clinics are awesome. I learned everything about telling people how to do stuff because they're better at explaining things than we are. And
I should probably go on more of those then.
yeah.
Be a better coach.
So Courtney was doing like the clinic scene, and we're going to the snowshoe one, which is probably, I always tell everyone, like, if you want to get better at biking fast, go to snowshoe because you have to. You have to get better quickly or it's going to be a really bad day. And I know we signed up, and Courtney's friends with like Lindsay and Angie and all like the people that run the clinics and stuff. She signs up for the advanced clinic, and she gets the assignment, and she's like, I'm not even with Lindsay and Angie. I wanted to be in the advanced group. And she was all pissed about it. She's like, I don't even know who this person is that's coaching me. Next day, we get done. She didn't even want to go. She comes back. That was the best day of riding of my entire life. Oh my God, Kelly's my spirit animal. I learned so much in the first half hour.
Aww.
Kelly was her coach then?
Yep.
Nice.
That's how we met.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Courtney was like one of my favorite students ever. I don't know, we just jived, and she just made so much progress that weekend that it made me feel like a superstar. She was like crushing some nasty rocks and doing, within that group, she was definitely like a standout, like she kind of pulled ahead and was really doing all the things. And so we kept in touch.
I got roped into being their photographer. They're like, go down there, and then when we come by, just get all our pictures. Wait.
Oh my God.
But then you coach all over the place. Like, it's not just snowshoe. Where are all the clinics that you do? I know you'll be in Michigan this year.
I will be in Michigan again this year. So I don't I've gone as far as just like Florida. So I've got my skills teaching, and that's where, I do like private lessons here, and then I'm invited to different, usually women's clinics, not always. And I travel for those. So this coming up, I'll be in Davis, West Virginia for the Canaan Mountain Bike Festival, and I still have numerous openings in my technical terrain tactics women's clinic there. And then I'll be at Bryce Women's Takeover. That's in July. And that's a great one for women. Bryce is like a super fun downhill park in Virginia that's very beginner friendly. Lots of clinics. And then I'm going to, like you said, to Copper Harbor for Copper Harbor Women's Weekend. So I've never met her, but the woman who was the advanced coach had a baby. And so she was like on maternity leave last year. And so they brought me in to be the advanced coach. And I had like the best time. It was so incredible up there. And so I get to go back this year also. And then I do other stuff in Virginia. Like I was coaching at Bryce this weekend. I was the guest coach for Take Aim Cycling. He does all the clinics there, and I can just say, hey, I can come coach on Saturday, and they'll put in some like openings for me for privates and stuff. And then I'll do some stuff for Harrisonburg, Virginia, called the Joyride. It's like a girls and women's event that's great. And then I work at Snowshoe in the bike school on like just busy weekends in the summer because we're there all the time. And then with the bike instructor certification program, that's like separate. That's where I'm like training instructors. And I've done stuff like as far as Florida. We kind of have like regions for that. A lot in Virginia, like North Carolina, Pennsylvania kind of stuff.
You go to Rays and stuff too, right?
Go to Rays. I don't coach at Rays, but I go to Rays.
Oh.
The one year they asked me to coach, I was like, no, I'm coming as a participant. Those coaches were
Did you wear like a fake mustache while you're in there? Like, so no one would.
No, it was great. I took some killer clinics there. They get such great coaches from around the country that I was like, no, I just like being a participant. I think that was the last time we did that was the year I think Courtney went.
Yeah, I think she was with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, we hung out.
I think Michael and I came down later at the end of it and like did stuff later.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a
Crazy
favorite?
stuff.
Do you have a favorite thing you like to coach? Like, do you like coaching downhill or trail ride, or like a certain type of style you like to coach the most?
You know,
most fun doing.
Yeah, I have fun teaching drops a lot. It's just something I like to teach because I have like in 2.5 hours, I can get people typically looking pretty good on drops and like different kinds of drops and varying like their speed and their technique. And that's so satisfying to me. I like flashy stuff. I don't love teaching like students. Yeah, I'm like, who wants to learn wheelies or manuals? Can we do that? I love teaching manuals. Usually they'll make some progress and I get all excited about it. But yeah, I'd say
I could see drops definitely being that thing. Like the technique's the same from hitting like a 2-foot drop to a 6-foot drop. Like it's all the same, but it's a lot different to hit a 2-foot jump to a 6-foot jump. Like it's just much different.
Yeah, there's so much more going on there. Yeah. It's so much harder for people to learn jumping that I'm like, for me being a little, spazzy, I want to see that like quick progress. It's just fun for me. And if you have a good teaching area, then they can just get really far. And then if you've got that group vibe, Brian mentioned the women's clinics. The awesome thing about that, just any group dynamic, is the vibe and how you feed off of each other. So if you're alone, you might be like, oh, I'm kind of scared. But if you see these other people doing it, you just get like inspired and you're like, well, maybe I can do that. And then everybody like cheers. Like I had a jump clinic this weekend. It was people who didn't know each other and they were just cheering each other on. And like by the end, everybody just is kind of buddy. And it's just the most adorable thing. I love it.
My buddy Mitch runs a bunch of clinics up here. He's doing the timing for the races we talked about in the beginning. He said that he's seen quite a bit of a drop off since like the COVID era of clinics. Have you seen the same kind of drop off?
Yeah. And I feel like I neglected to mention my good friend Kate runs campsite sessions. She's with Brown County Bikes in Indiana, and I've coached there. And I would say that even they're noticing, like everyone I know is noticing a drop in registration. And we don't know why. Like, is it everyone's clinicked out? Is it the economy? Is it competition? There's just so many events. Like, what is it? And people now are also waiting till the very last second. So we might think no one's registering, but they might just be waiting a long time.
We see that with our events that we plan as well. It's the commitment is not till like the day of. Like, people are so afraid to commit to things.
What is that?
I don't know. I'm old, so I just say I'm going to do it and do it.
Right?
I do think during COVID time, a lot of people bought bikes and were riding because that's all they could do. And I think a lot of people just let that bike sit around now as life got busy again, and they're finally just.
Have you been to the trails lately?
Well,
I mean, there's no parking spots.
Oh, I know.
It's just a bunch of people that are bad at riding instead of trying to get better.
But if you also look at the used bike market right now, you're like, there's some killer deals right now. I just bought a bike. Brian just bought a bike. Like, you can get some.
I haven't told anyone that yet. That I live with.
Brian's looking at things.
I did this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Craig bought a bike.
Did you tell her yet?
It panned out. It worked out. Yeah.
It's gonna show up tomorrow, so we're doing it live.
I'm checking the chat to see if Courtney is on here saying
She's
anything.
not. There's not a lot of chat responses today.
Well, unfortunately for Brian, like, there's no chance any of my friends would have gotten back to my girlfriend. I think there's a lot of people that know Courtney who might be listening right now.
You're gonna start seeing the chat like $20 keep my mouth shut.
We're going to Tennessee on Friday. Like, it's going to be in the car.
He's gonna see the bike.
Yeah. She knows bikes. It's not like I could be like, oh, it's just the one that you've always seen. She knows them.
Tangent. Mine was like out in the open, and my other half didn't notice that it was a new edition. And I'm like, all right, sick. But thankfully it was an e-bike. And she had ridden an e-bike in Switzerland, and then one time in New Zealand as well, and was like, oh my God, this is incredible. So I just turned it on. I'm like, so new addition to our family. Take it around the neighborhood, please.
And you got an extra large, so she can't ride it.
Yeah. She came back with a giant smile on her face, so it worked out.
Mine's an e-bike too.
Dude, Courtney's already got one.
Yeah, I know. Hers is nicer than mine too.
I don't have one yet. Someday.
Can't you just go to the shop and grab one?
I'm trying not to, because like I just feel like once I get on one, I'll never get off one.
You know what's funny is a lot of people I know that ride e-bikes all the time and like were like diehard e-bike for a while have faded back to riding their analog bike more.
Really?
Because they can throw it around so much more. Like, I mean, it's typical human behavior that you want what you don't have.
Yes.
And when you're on the e-bike, it's like it makes uphills fun, yes, but it makes downhills less fun.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of like evens everything out. It makes climbing suck less, but it makes downhill suck a little more.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I didn't want to get one yet. I need to at least test one. I should. But yeah, I was like, what if I can't? I don't want to not be able to bunny hop or something. Not that I'm the most
manual them
amazing.
for crap. Well,
That's what I'm
apparently
talking
some people
about.
can.
I wouldn't be able to. I know it. I don't weigh enough. They need an eject button that like forces the front up really quick and puts you into a manual or something.
It's called turbo.
Somebody turbo
So
slash manual.
How many bikes are in your fleet? And maybe this is an unfair question because your other half owns a bike shop.
It's true. You mentioned the used market. So we used to get new bikes all the time for ourselves because we could sell them real easily. But now like that doesn't happen. So my bikes are aging a little bit. But I have a dirt jumper. I have a transition PPJ, and then I have a stump jumper as my daily driver. I have a transition TR11. I got that last year for the park. And that bike is so fun. I'm just so loving that bike right now. What else? And then I have a Transition Spire. That's my enduro bike. So it's like 170 travel. And then I have like a gravel bike that I put road tires on. That's a Specialized Diverge. What else? I have my very first bike, my little stump jumper I mentioned that like got me hooked on riding. We still have that, but now my son like rides it a little bit. It has 26-inch wheels and all. It's super cute.
I'm glad you kept it. That's awesome.
You have to keep them.
You have to. It was like single speed for a while, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you always turn that into single speed, but then 26-inch wheels, I'm not trying to die. Like it.
Tangent. What's up with single speed? Why are people doing that?
I don't know. I mean, when I did it, I didn't do it that often because, you know, that's not what's fun to me, but it made me like way more fit really quick. And it makes you, you learn how to balance your weight a lot better and to push it. So without that, I don't know if I would have known my limit on like, you know, say you're climbing something technical and you're like, I don't know if I can make it, I'm going to give up. Like you don't give up on the single speed. And you learn that like, oh man, if I had just gave her a little more, like I would have made it. So other than that, I do not know why you would want to do that all the time.
How do you pick the gearing? Like, is it a happy, hard, I got to be out of the saddle climbing gear that you choose? Or, I don't know. I just feel like you'd spin out all the time.
I know that when I had mine, like it was 26-inch. So it was like, everybody does like 32/18. And so he put that on mine and it was too hard for me because I have like chicken legs and I'm 115 pounds or whatever. So I made it an easier ratio and it was, that worked better for me. I did that on the dirt jumper too. I feel like my old dirt jumper, I had to specialize and it was in too hard of a gear and I made him like change it. Cause I'm not that strong, you know?
Just a thought, but a CVT bike transmission?
No.
No? I have no idea how that even works.
I mean, I've been hearing about gearboxes and belt drives winning World Cups for like 6 years now, and they've offered $100,000 for like 6 years. I am willing to put a fair amount of money that the person that wins the $100,000 is going to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Is that for gearbox or is that belt drive for
belt? It's belt drive, but if it's belt drive, it is a gearbox.
Oh,
you can't. They don't have single speed downhill bikes for World Cup races.
I guess you're right. I've never thought about it till now.
In theory, you could have a belt-driven derailleur. That'd be a wild-looking setup, but it could work.
Yeah.
Do you watch World Cups and stuff, Callie?
I don't. Like we try to catch the highlights, but actually, you know the last couple years they switched channels and it's not on Red Bull TV anymore. So we've been like, no one can figure out where to watch it.
I actually like a controversial take here. I think the new broadcast is better than the old one.
Commentators included?
Commentators included. I watch the Red Bull Hardline stuff now with Rob and Elliot. I'm like, it's so too much now. I actually prefer the HBO Max broadcast. The only thing I don't like is no tape. I don't like that there's not tape on the race course. That's the thing I don't like.
How do I not notice stuff like that?
You didn't know they did the little green poles?
Well,
they have these little stubby poles now.
Well, yeah, now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that's everyone. I just thought, like, oh, that's just, instead of using tape, they use stubby poles on this course. Like, I thought that was a course thing.
It's definitely less dramatic when somebody blows through the course. Like, they don't have to snap through the tape. They just kind of awkwardly go around, and then you see them slam on the brakes, and then they hike back up. Because if they don't re-enter where they went out, then they DNF.
Dude, they should make it like a shock collar or something.
Just an electric fence.
Yeah.
I love it. And it zaps you until you get back into the course.
What about just giant bungees so it flings them back onto the course?
And it just starts deflating your tires. So you have to get back super quick. You're gonna have flat tires. Then you're not hurting anyone.
I'm with Kellen. Let's get some plywood on the sides. Some creative lines like wall riding around some sections. No, it's been. I disagree with you. I don't appreciate the new commentators. I think the one dude, he's like a Scottish dude. He's pretty good. Would you call him like the main?
He's the lead.
The lead
announcer.
The color commentator they had in the first round was just like a dude nobody had ever heard of
Oh,
got 5th place.
I hated the course so I wasn't really paying attention. I hated the South Korea course.
It wasn't great. This was my biggest gripe. A dude nobody had ever heard of got 5th place, and he crossed the line and nobody made a big deal about it. It was like this guy came out of nowhere, qualified in the top 10, was incredible on the weekend, and took 5th, and they're kind of like, oh yeah, so Nathan Palmion is in 5th. And they're like, oh, that's the best he's ever done ever and may ever do.
Hopefully not. He's on my team now.
I know he's got some sick style. But that's my gripe is I think they should spend a little more time, understand who everybody is and what they need to talk about instead of just like, oh, he took a good line there. Like, give us a little more.
I do want to qualify that I'm thinking of like Aaron Gwynn in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
And Tawny Seagrave and Miriam Nicole when they have the guest commentators. And we just need a couple more people to get hurt, and then we'll have great color commentary.
I can't think of another sport or like televised activity in the world where they're like, we just need a few more people out for the season, and then we'll have our commentary booth will be A+.
They got rid of the Bond villain girl that does the pregame show, which I'm super happy about.
Maybe they'll
Kelly's
put
like, I
Win
don't know what you're
Master-
talking about.
I did see that Win Master sitch where like he hit
Mm.
that hardtail guy or avoided hardtail guy and all that.
Mm-hmm. So that's a whole fun controversy.
Mhm.
So that dude that he ended up hitting got held up by the hardtail guy and therefore was not able to hit the main line jump
Okay.
and had to go around the B line as a result of the hardtail guy going slow and like pulling off. And so Wynn came over, hit the jump, the B line, dumbest B line of all time, rejoined on the landing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was quite the scenario. But then even worse, well, maybe not worse because there were injuries involved with Wynn, but Asa Vermette in his qualifying run had to pass hardtail guy. So number one qualifier
What?
had to pass the hardtail dude on his qualifying lap. Still ended up first, so it was okay. Like, couldn't have been a better spot. There was a low line and a high line, and Asa was already on the high line. But do we need to tell people to ride a full suspension bike at a downhill race? I didn't know we needed to do that, but I guess we do.
Apparently we do.
Where'd you go? Oh,
I had to hit a light, man. I was like, oh, it's getting dark out. I can't see myself.
Speaking of it being dark out, where in the world are you? I don't even know where you're based out of.
Oh, I'm in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that where the
Like right in the middle.
great bike shop Brian mentioned earlier was? Or is?
Yeah. Blackwater Bike Shop. It's been there for 25 years.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
the one your husband owns?
Yep.
How long has he owned it for?
He's owned it for about, I think, 23 years.
Okay.
So he's after college, he started working for the bike shop. It was called Piedmont Bike Shop. And the guy the owner, he adopted a baby and was like, I can't run this anymore. I have to do this dad thing, And he was like, do you want to buy it from me? And he did. And Davey was like, my husband was like 24 years old. And he's really, he really grew it. He renamed it and like grew it. And it's been great. It's been our life,
Yeah. So owning a bike shop, do they make you wrench on your own bikes? Or you're just like, here, fix my bike. Just take it to your own mechanics. Yep. Drop it and go. I know the boss.
Yeah, I'm like, can you fix it? Mainly, I mean, I used to try to learn things, but I have an 11-year-old, and pretty much as soon as I had a kid, all bets are off. Divide and conquer. Like, take this bike with you to work and fix it, please, because I'm not gonna have time to deal with it. So now I feel like a total diva.
does your son bike?
Not really. He doesn't love it. He'll do a little bit, like at snowshoe. He's an only child, so like he needs a buddy. Like we're just old people. So
you don't wait for him. You just leave him. You're like, I'll see you at the bottom.
No. Well, usually he has a buddy at snowshoe, and so the buddy will usually, get them to ride a little bit, and we'll do a couple laps and go eat ice cream and do other stuff.
So he's almost old enough to work in the shop. Was
He
it like
he
13
does
or
ring
14?
people up sometimes. Yeah.
If you have family members, you have to pay taxes.
True.
Just a side note bonus.
A lot of loopholes there. But yeah, Davey will take him in sometimes, and he'll have our son like ring people up. It's cute.
So when we went down there, you gave us places to go and ride. I had a lot of fun. Craven's Cove, and then we went to the George Washington National Forest or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That was a good time. You've got a bunch of bike shops in the area, but I see on your Instagram how many more cool things that you guys have been a part of helping get built in your area, like little skills areas and like fun little flow lines. And isn't there a pump track or something?
Yeah, they might be tearing our pump track down to build some pickleball courts, but they're going to give us another area. So my husband grew up on a farm, so he's like, he can do machinery and all that. And so, yeah, they built some jump lines, which has been like life-changing. Like it's so fun having those. And they built the little pump track and did a bunch of trail work and just made fun things happen. And now they might be giving us another, they have a piece of land that used to have trails and now they don't use it anymore, and they want to revitalize that. So they're talking about doing like a more of a flow line rather than a pump track, because it's just easier to maintain and it'll be in the woods. So we'll see about that. But yeah, you're right. Like my husband has given back so much to the community, and he's very quiet and modest about it, because he's a quiet, modest man. But
He's a super cool guy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed hanging out with him and riding with him the times that I've met him. I think
Yeah,
it's
and
been twice now.
Yeah. He's super fun to ride with and to ride behind. Like I really enjoy that.
And gingers do it better.
They do. Do y'all feel like a camaraderie when like two gingers are gathered in one place?
We usually typically don't like each other, but it's only because there's just too much greatness in the room.
It's like magnets repelling.
You know what's funny? You're our 62nd episode of the Pedal Progressions podcast. And of those 62 episodes, our top 10, 8 of them are gingers.
Well, you can't count yourself all the time.
I only counted myself on the first episode ever.
There's a ginger in every episode that was number one.
I can go through them if you want.
How do you feel about like fake red hair? I dyed my hair red for like years, and my husband was like, "You're an imposter." But like, did he mean it? I don't know. Do you feel like that's like, ugh?
Well, I mean, you have like the negative parts, which is the red hair, but you don't have the cool parts, like not being able to like feel drugs or the pain tolerance thing that goes with it. Speaking of which, my rib injury is a thing now.
Oh no!
I like bruised a kidney a couple weeks ago in Pittsburgh, and now that the kidney feels fine, I'm like, I think I broke my ribs. It's still pretty terrible looking. I showed it on camera last week. I won't subject you to that.
Oh my gosh!
It's pretty purple and yellow, and I don't really bruise. Like I don't get injured very often, and it's pretty bad.
Have you sneezed yet?
Yeah, it's like a 10.
Oh
my god!
It's like a constant 4 in pain, but it's like a 10 when I sneeze. But like I can't take ibuprofen or aspirin because it doesn't work. I don't feel anything from it.
Oh my gosh!
So I just get like constipated and no pain relief.
That's a topic that nobody talks about with rib injuries. You can't poop properly. and I'm glad you brought that up. I suffered quietly for a couple of weeks, and I'm sorry, Kelly, but it's a daunting task when you have to go do the deed, and it's awful. Like there were some noises that were made. I was like, it's bad. I don't recommend blowing out a rib to anyone. Even my worst.
I
enemy.
assume you've hurt your ribs before? You
I
do a bunch
have
of crazy
not.
stuff.
This is news to me.
It doesn't take a lot. Like I think both of our crashes were just like low speed tip overs with some unfortunate stuff on the ground. My case a log, your case also a log, right?
There was a stick out of a log that went under my rib cage. I thought
No.
apparently it got caught some of it.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it just it hits you in the right spot, and now you got 3.5, 4 weeks of just absolute hell. So
Dang.
also don't recommend Golf 616 hosting a golf event at the simulator base because you look like you're really bad in front of all your friends.
Yeah, I hurt my ribs before that. Definitely what happened. I didn't tell you guys until last week, but it happened before the golf outing. That's why it sucked so bad.
So slightly back on topic. I'm very interested, like, what inspired you to get into coaching? Because that's a very, it doesn't happen out of nowhere. Like, obviously,
it takes the right person.
It takes the right person, and then a lot of patience. But I think there's ultimately a lot of reward in it too. So I'm curious what did it for you.
You know, I had gone to that one. I think once I went to a Better Ride clinic and just seeing that there was a way that you could teach. And I just looked back at all the years. I don't remember what year that was, but I had been riding for at least 5 years, if not more, right? And all the crashes I had had and not really knowing what I was doing, but just doing it anyway and being like, well, hot damn, we don't have to do this. I can save people this trouble. And then, at that time, I was maybe vice president or secretary, something with the bike club. I don't remember at the time. And we were just really looking for ways to get make our members happy and create this club and this unity. And so it was just something to do. I'd be like, hey, let's do some kind of clinic. And that's what made it fun. But I think I've just always enjoyed that. Like, I really don't want other people to have a hard time. I like people and I care about people. So I'm like, if I can make their life easier, I'm going to do that. And I just feel like I have all these
or not, we care about them.
Yeah.
It's better than my selfish reason of the more good people that ride bikes, the cooler trails we get.
Ooh. I should have thought of that. But yeah, I just I feel like I'm full of secrets. I'm like, there's a secret, and I feel like I need to spill it to you. Tell you these things.
There is a certain amount of enjoyment though watching other people do the coolest thing they've ever done in their life and then being a part of helping them do that. That is pretty rewarding. If I had a soul, I bet it'd be really rewarding.
Yeah. I just remember like being a little girl and like I had this bike with like, the handlebars and the banana seat. And like, back then kids you all joined up and you'd ride bikes around the neighborhood and the boys would be doing wheelies and cool stuff. And I just felt like so left out, And so I carried that into adulthood. And I'm like, I don't want anybody to feel that way. I want to empower people, specifically women, but I like working with everyone. But like with women, I want to teach them something they didn't think they could do and watch them just like glow afterwards and be excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And with men, it's the opposite. You teach them how to do something that they already think they know how to do, but they can't.
There is an irritating thing of teaching. There's an irritating thing of teaching a young kid a new skill. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting him into it. And then 2 years later, he's like, stupid little kid, better than me now.
Exactly.
I think the hardest thing for me when I coach people is, all right, I want you to do this. We're working on this one thing, and watching them do it and seeing like the 5 other things that I have to ignore that they're doing wrong because we're working on this one thing right now. We'll get to this other stuff later, but just wanting to like fix it all at once, but we can't. We're just moving on. We're working on this one thing right now, and just watching it, want to fix it all, but can't. You can't do it all at once.
Exactly, and it would like bring them down mentally if we told them everything they're doing wrong at once.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you balance that? Like, how do you
hard.
decide what to attack first?
Usually you go with bigger thing or the base thing. Like what is the base of the problem? Because there's a lot of problems being caused by the underlying thing. So it's like a puzzle, and you're trying to figure out, well, what is the underlying thing that might actually fix some of these other problems without attacking each one separately. So just experience with that and figuring out, and then is it safe? What's safe? What's dangerous, right? Like I got to have people being safe. That's number one.
No matter how advanced the clinic is, because usually if I'm brought in, it's doing like the pretty advanced stuff, like the bigger jumps and stuff. I still make every single person do the cones and the squinky toys in the parking lot. Because if you don't have bike body separation and like that balance aspect, then it's not even worth going to the jumps, because then safety does become an issue. Like you will get ejected if you're leaning back because you can't balance your body on a bike, or if you can't do a berm right, you're not going to carry the speed you need into the jump to clear it. And then now you're pedaling, you're off balance, like you need to be settled. So I make everyone do the squeaky chicken and the cones, no matter how stupid they think it is. And usually the feedback is always that they learned something. Like, oh, I didn't know I was doing that wrong for 20 years.
Preach, man. That's like so accurate. Like say I'm going to teach a drop clinic, like some of these women's things, they'll have me teach like different levels of drop clinics that you can sign up for. And the secret is they're all the same. Just the more advanced ones, we might progress quickly, but those people are already hitting stuff, but I'm not just going to go straight to some big stuff. Like I bring them all the way back down. I'm like, we're going to set your foundation and we're going to vary your speed and see, can you do that slow? Can you do that if there's a corner first? Like all that stuff.
And they have to trust
what
you.
you're saying.
Like I have so many people that are like, I'm the arbiter of what they think they can do. Because I won't lie and be like, oh, you got this. Like the worst thing in the world that could happen on a bike trip is you tell someone they've got it and they don't, and you're just trying to cheer them up, and then now you're in the hospital waiting with a broken collarbone, and it just wrecks everyone's trip to deal with it. Like I if anything, I like aim for the lower of it. Like I want to make sure you've got it. Like it needs to be clean.
Yes.
Not sketchy. Like, oh, you think I got this? I'll be honest with it too. Like, oh, does this dress make me look fat?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard of people just say, well, just go faster or pull up harder. I'm like, that's going to solve all your problems. She's like, no.
Oh my God.
My good friend Hillary,
my friend Hillary made these t-shirts that say like, go fast and pull up. And so we wear those sometimes.
That's a fun little vein. What is like the most common bad advice, or what's your like favorite bad advice that you've heard? I'm sure you hear it all with people taking these clinics. Like, oh, so-and-so told me blah, blah, blah.
It's always go fast and pull up. I swear to God. That's
okay. That's the one.
Yeah.
What does pull up mean? Pull what? Like, that's not good advice.
I usually teach the advanced class too for the stuff I do for little kids, and it's tough when you're trying to evaluate the kids and you find that there's that one that thinks he's really good, but he's just not set for that group. And it's tough having those conversations with them, especially younger kids, like, hey, you would be much better in this class that's a little lower, or the skills clinic's a little lower. It's tough having those, especially with little kids, but sometimes it's necessary to do that. Like they think they're good. They think they can just go fast and pull up and make everything go away. And yeah, it's tough having those conversations sometime, but it's for their safety. They're going to learn more in that other thing, not having those, learn those base skills before they progress higher. I find for me that's one of the toughest things I do coaching is having those real conversations, especially with younger kids of like, hey, you belong here. You're not quite ready for this. And
it's hard at any age because
yeah.
That happens a lot.
Adults talk back a little more sometimes. They'll fight.
Yeah, and the egos are involved. Like it's never pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
As instructors, we often learn like how can we appeal to all, like say you do get a mixed group, like how can you keep everyone a little bit happy? Like give progressions to the faster learners or the more advanced people, but still be able to work with this one. And it's kind of like, you know, when you have all the spinning plates and stuff. But there are times you have to tell someone like, I need to switch you into another group. And they usually, sometimes they're great about it and sometimes they're sad, but a lot of times people feel like they're not in an advanced enough group. And I feel like,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, you're going to learn something no matter where you are, right?
I also have on the flip side, sometimes you get someone that's really good in the advanced group and it's much better than everyone else. And you're like, all right, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice, but come here, let me whisper in your ear because I don't want any of these guys to hear it. You know, like I'll give you a little extra, but don't let any of these guys try because they're not ready for it.
I feel like that was Courtney at Snowshoe with you.
Yeah, there's usually one, you know, where I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta, you know, not play favorites here. But and also give them stuff to do, but you know, the other people need a lot of attention, especially the ones that are struggling. So it's tough.
So like clinics, I feel like are kind of treated as a negative term when you talk about it to most, I'd say, people at the trail. They're like, I got this. They already know everything, whatever.
Yeah.
Could you break down why you think it's important or why anyone could benefit from one? Like, I mean, you're the teacher of the teachers, so you can break it down probably better than anyone else of why it is important for people to work on these skills or be humbled or whatnot.
I mean, you can use analogies such as any sport or instrument. Like, what if you just noodled around on a guitar in your basement forever? Like, would you really? Don't you think you could learn something and get a little better? But with mountain biking, so many people ride for years and they're just riding and going off the feel of it or what they've heard from people or YouTube videos. And there's just so much more to it that, I mean, I recommend anyone take a clinic and learn. If you have one little thing wrong in the base skills, like bike body separation, or you don't have a good ready position, you don't understand where your weight should be shifted and when, like that's going to throw everything off. So what if this is the thing that you like doing more than anything else, which is riding your bike, why would you not invest in learning how to do it properly and making it even more fun and preventing injuries because now you're better at it?
And getting older, we slip. Like, we definitely develop bad habits that someone else could notice that you don't know you're doing. Like, it's really fun for me. Like, I got to ride with Mitch at Pato last week, and we can like help each other out to this still. Like, we both are at that level where it's like, I mean, it's the smallest thing. We're going fast. We're doing wide open, all the things, but there's always something to improve on. If you were the best at it, you'd be on the World Cup.
Exactly.
Even those World Cup riders, guess what all of them have?
Coaches.
A coach. Every single one of them, I would argue, has a coach or somebody back there who's like giving them feedback.
Yeah, like you said, you fall into some bad habits over time. So I think it's smart to get a little tune-up every now and then. Like, go get you a private lesson or something. It doesn't have to be an 8-hour thing. Go get a couple hours of a tune-up with someone just to make sure that you haven't slipped into a bad habit.
Kellen, didn't you take a lesson at Whistler?
Yeah. When I
and you loved it, right?
No, I loved it. Like, did I learn a ton? Like, I learned stuff, you know, but I didn't learn a ton, but I got those little personalized things, like having a coach that's there watching you. They're able to explain stuff better than like a YouTube video with just a general idea of stuff. Like, for example, like corner and going to the berms. Like, I've heard it explained so many times, and you know, some people understand stuff better than others. Like going to a berm, I've heard people say, well, just look with your eyes. Your eyes will follow. And other people say, well, kind of turn your toes and like twist it on the pedals so that kind of, you know, shifts your hips. Or what we like to say, moon the berm. You know, turn your butt towards the berm. You're telling them to do the same thing, but it's explaining it different ways, and you can get that personalized thing. Like, okay, I can see they're not understanding or getting it this way, so let's say it another way or work at a different way. you're explaining the same thing, but getting that personalized for something that you understand makes really all the difference.
And YouTube never like takes in consideration that going into a bank turn that's sandy versus gravelly versus clay are all different entry and exit points and what you need to do, look, and where your weight needs to be. And it's completely different between the three. Like if you just watch a YouTube video about how to corner better in berms, it's not going to take in consideration the current trail conditions that you're in and how to master that.
Or just, like berms like that, they'll tell you all those things, moon the berm, all that. But having a coach there and be like, all right, you're doing this great. Now look for traction. Look for the loose spots in that berm. Like that's stuff you don't get watching a video. They're not going to say, okay, now look at what you're riding, and you're looking at additional stuff too. Like it's just, there's a lot of stuff to look at and fine tune. But when you kind of have someone saying you're doing everything right, technique, but now look at the trail, look at the terrain in front of you. That's the big thing to focus on. And what YouTube video is going to say, hey, look at what the dirt looks like. They're going to tell you like, what to do with your body. It's just having that personalized thing and seeing what you're doing wrong to critique that thing.
And also looking at your individual body and how you're fitting your bicycle and your different strengths. I mean, we're all so unique, like, so making those suggestions and tweaks like, hey man, maybe you need a little bit shorter of a stem or more of a riser bar. Your feet are on the pedals a little too far back. You need to move them forward. Little things like that make a huge difference, and YouTube ain't going to tell you that.
YouTube assumes you have the best conditions possible.
Yeah.
And it's all technique. Yeah, they just assume everything's great except your body technique or your body position. So that's the biggest thing I found. It's not always you that's doing something wrong. It's just something you haven't thought about.
And it's the intentional practice. Like oftentimes we go out there and just like smash, have fun, cruise, whatever. Now all of a sudden you're repeating a section with somebody is watching you, paying attention. And now I'm thinking about all of the proper body position and what I should be doing. So I think there's a lot of value in intentional practice and being mindful about what you're doing.
For sure. I like to assign homework too, because a lot of people, there's a little difference between like a clinic and a private lesson. A lot of times at a clinic, people clinic and they think, I'm done. I learned, and you don't. You have to go home and do homework, and it's easier to give homework, honestly, with a private lesson. But I send them home with like, you need to do this, this, and this, and you need to have it written down and like actually work on it and pick something. I personally like to, like if I'm just doing my normal ride, I'll be like, well, I'm just going to work on this one thing. I'm going to bring attention to, my cornering on this one or whatever. Like I like to work on something on every ride. Man, that adds up.
Yeah. That's what I loved about when I did that clinic in Whistler. I went there for a week and I had a new coach every day. And at the end of every day, they gave a report card. You did this well. You need to work on this. And then at the end of the week, I had 7 reports of saying these are your weak spots. Go work on this. Like this is where you're doing really well. It was nice to be able to go back, a couple months later and be like, all right, I'm going to work on this some more and try to get better at this. And as a coach, I like to be able to do that, write it down or give, individual things at the end of the day. Like, hey, you did this really well. Let's work on this for next week or next time you're here. And just have them working at home.
Do you have your kids do you do any kind of wrap up at the end of your practices
I do. I like to, at the end of my practice when I run it, I like to be like, hey, you did this really great today. Let's work on this. Give them just that one thing of feedback. My kids are mostly between probably 12 to 16, so that I coach. But yeah, just give them that one thing to work on, and a lot of times you can tell who's actually worked on them over the week. Like some kids will come back and they've regressed a little bit, or they're right doing the exact same things. And other kids are like, hey, watch me do this, and they want to show me that they've been working on it.
Nice.
It's nice seeing that.
You should probably tell her a little bit about what Dirt Dogs is, because I think it's a pretty unique thing we have here. That it's been around for kind of a long time now. Yeah. Like those kids are all college scholarship athletes that started in it.
So yeah, Dirt Dogs, it's a kids only mountain bike thing. You can be, I don't think there's a minimum age, but they go from strider bikes all the way up to, full mountain bikes. But it's 16 is the cutoff age for how old they can be. But it's held at our local ski hill. They have a bunch of trails there, and It's just kids only, so they get a bunch of similar age kids.
They get a jersey. They get a
jersey.
season pass to the ski
Yeah,
hill.
the ski hill gives them a nice season pass for doing all that. But yeah, there's tons of coaches. It's all organized. Everyone gets together on a certain day, and there's always a minimum of at least 2 coaches and usually another sweeper. So about three people. Usually with a group of 8 to 10 people. So pretty personalized group, and we send them out in the woods for an hour, and we kind of go over our own little things based on what we see with the kids. And
The wait list is ridiculous.
oh, there's a lottery to get into it, and people want so many kids. They have so many kids trying to get into it that there's literally a lottery every year to get into it. I think last year there was 500 kids total in it.
And the coaches, like, if you want to get your kid in it, like guaranteed get in, you can coach or sweep.
Yeah.
Smart.
But yeah, it's big. It's blown up. I mean, it's been great for our community and that, and getting all the kids into it, and just seeing the kids that started with that, and now they're college athletes cycling,
and they do trail work because they love the trails,
Mhm.
and they've been in it so long that it's nice to see the respect that these kids have for like the local community, because they've been a part of it now for literally their entire life.
a lot of them go from being students in it to being coaches, and that it's cool to see a lot of that.
Wow.
Is-
Can you
is there
come here
anything-
and start that in my town?
They are trying to expand. They are trying to get in other markets.
I was gonna say we're looking at somebody that is pretty influential in that regard.
I'm sure you know someone that could head it up, a real go-getter. I'm not even suggesting you. I'm saying like legitimately, you probably know someone that would be really good at that.
Virginia, we have NICA here. So I started a
that
NICA
too.
team. Yeah. In Lynchburg. It's gotten small this year. I haven't been involved in a while because I'm a mom with a kid who doesn't like to ride bicycles. but yeah, it's like during the pandemic, it was popping. So we'll see how that progresses.
Yeah, we have Miska here, and there's the Miska teams, and then below that there's another layer of teams, and then below that is, I would say, is the Dirt Dogs and them, because I think it goes Dirt Dogs, and then I don't remember what the Cannonsburg team is, and then there's Coyotes, which is the Miska team that travel around and compete against all the other high schools and all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a good scene around here with, especially getting younger kids into it. It's shown just when how many bikers are in just the area now. In our Grand Rapids, our area, like the past 10 years, it's grown a ton, just from having all the kids in that stuff too. Like
best community for crappiest trails. No, we don't have crappy trails. We have good trails.
Yeah.
We really do have good trails, but
Yeah.
they're not like Snowshoe or Bryce or
like we said earlier, you always want what you can't have.
You do, man. But like building up the kids teams, I know when my husband and the other bike club guys were building the jump lines, man, those teens, they're so good at like slapping up some lips or jumps and such. They were so helpful, and then they'll always be the ones to go tune them up. It's very nice. You can tell when it's summer break, because like the lips are all the faces of the jumps are all tuned up.
It's funny because last year I had a kid that was super into it. Was like, oh, I'm gonna be a downhill guy, and we don't have much downhill like close to us. And he went out. He showed up the first day of practice with like a trail bike. It was like 120 travel front and rear. He's like, oh, I just can't wait till I get my big bike. And very next practice, he showed up with a full downhill with dual crown front. We got all cross country around us, like so we're climbing hills with these things.
He's gonna be in shape.
He's like,
wow.
I was like, I've never pedal sing around before. I don't ever want to pedal sing around ever again. Like he learned quick why it's a downhill bike, not an uphill bike.
That's how Dakota got so fast, pedaling a downhill bike around Michigan.
Yeah, it's funny watching some of the kids discover bike geometry.
From
That's great.
a skills and learning progression standpoint, this is the most progressive episode that I think we've ever had.
We're so serious this week.
We did talk about pooping earlier, so
We did.
Yeah, that's more on brand. We did all have the same dress idea. All of us are in full black.
You can throw a little gray in there to mix it up, you know.
There we go.
You want to shout out your friend that made the sweet earrings you have on real quick? Because we did
Oh,
that
yeah.
before.
My friend Joanna Yates, she's a coach in Sedona, and she has MTB vibes. She makes jewelry. Can y'all see these little lightning bolts?
And they got a chain link on them.
Yeah,
Chain
for
link.
the
She does
people
all
listening
kinds.
on Spotify, it's a lightning bolt with a chain link that's to attach them.
And it's sick.
Oh, shit. I love it. She's very creative.
She rips too on a bike.
She
I
does.
follow her on Instagram.
You know, she used to live at Snowshoe.
I believe she made a comment about mountain bike podcast not having females on. I slapped back. I'm like, oh, your friend Kelly's coming on, and
In your face.
well, it's hard because like we've had a ton of females on here. We don't care. Like anyone that's stoked about biking is cool in our book, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be a good rider. Like if you got good stories and you're a fun person to talk to, we'll have you on. The stories mean more than riding ability or whatever.
Yeah.
But man, even though like a third of our guests are female, 12% of our listening audience. Girls, if you want more girls on podcasts, listen to the damn podcast because the 88%.
What's up with that?
I know. What? But I will say our Lakeshore Mountain Biking Sisters episode is pretty high ranked.
Mm-hmm.
Made some good friends from that one. I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
We had someone your sister might know on. She, I believe she won single speed 24 hours in your neck of the woods in the George Washington National Forest there.
When was this?
Like the 90s or like early 2000s.
Who was it? Who dat?
Danielle Musto. She's also the person that thought of the dirt dogs. and,
Oh,
like, made it
really?
happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's an
I
old
don't know.
episode. You should go back and listen. It's entertaining.
I will. And my sister was living in Atlanta doing it. She helped found Sorella Cycling down there back in the day. So that's where she was doing her riding.
There's not. I can't imagine that the 24-hour solo scene was that big though. Like I feel like you're
It was
gonna
hot
know.
for a minute. You know, they had like Solly down in Solly, and they did one at Warrior Creek and places like that. I don't remember where all they did them.
West Virginia had one.
West Virginia had one. I think my
Where you'll
husband
be
has done
next
that one
week.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had we were a hotbed. We had Mark Hendershot of the Santa Cruz Syndicate team.
Mm-hmm.
He's passed now. He was one of my favorite humans of all time. So shout out Mark Hendershot because such a good dude. But him and Danielle like traveled around the country and won world championships on single speeds and 24-hour racing. So from no hills in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I think she tells the story of doing 24-hour world championships in Squamish on a hardtail rigid bike.
We are so soft now, guys. God.
And she still doesn't use Strava.
Yeah, she doesn't know what it is.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
Well, at an hour and a half, probably good wrap-ish time. You got some stuff to promote, Kelly?
Yeah, where can people find out more about clinics, anything in that nature?
If you go to blackwaterbikeshop.com, that's the bike shop website. There's a tab that is for coaching, and you can find my whole schedule on there with links for registration and a little about me stuff on there. And yeah, I even post. I don't have any upcoming BICP instructor courses right this second, but I'm going to schedule some for the fall, so you can check back there. And my husband's bike shop, all their inventory is online. If you need to buy a bike, get up on there.
Or parts. We need parts
Or
constantly.
parts. Get on it. So yeah, you can find everything there. But like upcoming, like come see me at Snowshoe, or if you're a lady in this area, like that Bryce Women's Takeover is sick, and the Canadian Mountain Bike Festival, like bring it on. That's a really fun, chill vibe in there. With cool riding. So
I'm sure some of our listeners will see you at Copper Harbor too.
Come up to Copper Harbor. I have no idea if that's sold out or not, but what a place, man. That is such a scene up there.
We've had some chat activity. I should probably bring that up because
Yeah, you're right. As we said, we're wrapping it up. They all chime in all of a sudden. Yeah, Copper Harbor it's its own scene. It's its own vibe up there. Like it's
It's
a
so good.
place.
Yeah. I really enjoy that up there. It was sick.
Well, Kelly, we appreciate having you on. Appreciate you telling us about all your coaching and all that stuff. Everyone listening, thanks for listening. Remember to rate, review, smash the like button, do all the other stupid things you're supposed
check
to.
out Kelly online. Ask for routes in Virginia.
Yeah.
It's so good here, y'all.
Like always, guys, remember to keep pushing, keep progressing. I screwed that up somehow, didn't I?
Sure.
Man, this is so
Uh-oh.
good. Make
Oh,
me
Gotta
think
use
no.
the
so.
cheat sheet for the
Keep for-
tagline.
Oh, I did it
Oh
backwards.
shit!
Shut up, Craig. You're off the podcast.
You're fired.
You're fired. All right, guys. Remember to keep progressing. Keep pushing yourself. Have fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.